The South African Parenting Program Implementers Network, or SAPPIN, is a network of NGOs working with parenting programs to prevent violence in South Africa. Decades of research into the role of parenting and the relationship between parents and children has shown that the way that parents engage with their children impacts children's risk factors for adopting violent and aggressive behavior later in life.
For 6 years, we've been convening the Violence Prevention Forum. And it was about how do we bring together government, NGOs that are implementing programs, and researchers to figure out how best we can implement violence prevention interventions at scale in South Africa.
Our purpose in establishing the network really was to facilitate cooperation, to build trusting relationships, and to really augment what services we're already providing so that we strengthen our voice, so that we can more effectively reach more families and support each other in the advocacy task of being a South African non-profit organization.
We know that when we actually go out to communities and implement our programs, we know we're not doing any harm to families.
And so if we can help parents to understand how important they are and how important that time is for children's lives and what kind of experiences optimize them to do well in life, we can really change the trajectory of our society, of our country.
All SAPPIN organizations have at their core the importance of supporting parents so that children are better held. And better held children are more likely to be able to do well at school, are more likely to be able to form safe relationships, are more able to alert authorities should something be happening to them that shouldn't.
In the Children's Act, it's very clear that government has to provide parenting programs, but that's not happening because the children's sector is quite divided and we're not well coordinated. So SAPPIN will play that very critical role in pulling together the organizations that work.
We have existing programs that are evidence-based, informed and led. We've been tracking them, we've been monitoring their effectiveness, and we really want to support government in holding them to account on the value of supporting parents, as so many of their policies are aiming to do.
I think the most important part of this is around generating evidence around what can work to prevent violence against women and violence against children at the same time.
Violence is preventable. We need to say that. We need to remember that. We need to have hope in that and invest in that, because we've become used to levels of violence that make no sense and are not necessary.
Getting male programs, men programs, having them to change their language, getting them to understand, that's another element. But for me, the focus is within this parenting work that is happening.
It's what our National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide asks for and needs. It's what the White Paper on Safety and Security asks for and needs. It's what every community asks for and needs.
And SAPPIN says family-based work is vital and relationships are vital. And so we get to be part of building something positive and possible and reachable for every person in South Africa.